Hello and welcome. My name is Anthony England with Full Orbit Games, and it's Developer Update Episode 3. Last week we discussed some of the latest mechanics that we made, as well as some of the new rocket components. This episode I'd like to discuss what we've done since then. So we added a few new mechanics: mission board, crew, cost of building a spaceship, and a few others. So let's get started. So let's start with the crew. In this example, I clicked and placed down a medium-sized capsule. This capsule has 3 seats. Down below, a pop-up will appear with the crew members. If you hover over individual crew members, it will show you their name. You can switch out the crew members by any member that's in your roster. Here, I've added 12 astronauts. These astronauts can be switched out for any one of you pick, or you can recruit a new one. I can easily remove the crew from the capsule by just clicking on the astronaut that I want assigned. I can add my new astronaut as easily as removing them. Now, when I launch my rocket, my crew is shown on the bottom left. If I hover over the crew member, I can perform an EVA, as well as re-enter the capsule. If a crew member dies during flight, you will not be able to recover him and add him back to your roster. So once you run out of astronauts, you have to recreate your own. Let's move on to cost and rocket assembly. At the beginning of a game, you start with a certain amount of currency. This currency allows you to purchase modules as needed to build your rockets and to complete your missions. Here, you'll see that the cost is shown on the tooltip. When I purchase an item, that cost is automatically deducted from your total amount. So be careful with how much you spend during the gameplay. Your saved rockets will also now show cost. You can load a rocket as long as you have the appropriate amount in your savings. You can also recover any rocket that has not been destroyed on Earth's surface. For example, if you go to your active rockets in the top right, you'll see an option that says Recover. This will only recover about 50% of the rocket, as it will need to be refurbished. Once recovered, you regain that money back into your savings. So it is preferred to save as much of your rocket as you can to reduce costs. So I've added the ability to change the name of a rocket. Here, if you click a capsule and place it on the map, you'll be able to change the name at the top center. This name will stay with the rocket capsule forever until it is destroyed or recovered. If you go to launch, you'll see that the name is still there. If you go to your active rockets tab, you'll see the name here in the active rockets. So now let's move on to mission board. This is only available for the campaign, so if you're in Sandbox, this would not be available. Here in the top right, you'll see a tab that's called Objectives. Click on this. You'll see that all the objectives will be listed on the left. I've organized this by location. So you have objectives that are related to Earth, the Moon, and eventually I'll add all the other planets. Missions have to be completed in order, so you'll not be able to skip all the way to the end. Each mission has their own objectives. Launch crewed capsule into space, and return it to Earth and land safely. This is the first mission. It's a pretty simple one, but it's a good way to get started. I've also added a cartoon character to give you inspirational help. So let's try out the first mission. Here you have a crewed capsule with a single astronaut, Bob Smith. You have a fuel tank, a T1 engine from the Mercury program, and a parachute, because the astronaut has to return safely, of course. So let's launch. Going to throttle up to full throttle. We're going to zoom out. Here you'll be able to see the trajectory. I'm going to climb to about 130 altitude, give or take. So as you see, I've exited Earth's atmosphere. So that will give me a check mark for the first objective, launch crewed capsule into space. Now I'll be returning to Earth, but I don't want to have all this dead weight since my parachute cannot support this much weight on the re-entry. So I'm going to ditch this by decoupling and launch the parachute. This completed the last objective, and now I have a mission completed window pop up. As you'll see here, I have the option to recover my capsule. Let's recover that. And it shows me the objectives that were completed. I get $500 currency, as well as science points. You can either click OK to close the window, or click mission board to go to the mission board and see what's next. I've also added a few new modules. Some of the missions require satellites and more science to be done. So I added a extra small drone control. This is for a satellite only because it doesn't have that much power to turn the rocket, but it gives you a little bit of ability to make a small satellite. I also added a extra small battery, 2 new modules for the science in the campaign. I added a small science module and a medium science module. How this works is you can activate these modules to get science points while in orbit or on the surface of another planet. Well, that's it for this episode. This game has been a lot of work, and I appreciate all the support that I get from you guys. Please subscribe and give me the thumbs up. This really helps with the YouTube algorithm and helps me grow my channel. If you have any questions or comments, please leave them below. I'll try to get back to you as soon as I can. And thank you for watching, and have a good day.